Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is Small Arms Pistol Academy, and I'm the owner, Mike Hanselman. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today basically is the Holosun optic. One of my favorite things about this optic is just how versatile it truly is. So this is just a screenshot so you guys can kind of see the box of what we have here. And I'm just going to do a voiceover so I can kind of explain a few things about this optic. So this version is actually the 507C, and it's the X2 series. Personally, I like the V2 series because the button configuration goes vertical instead of horizontal. And for me and whatever, I just find the buttons to be a little bit better. But I still love the X2, and this is what they sell currently. So this is the one, I've been mounting on a lot of my firearms, pistols, my EDCs. So that's why we're going to talk about it. Now, if you look at the bottom left corner of this box, you can actually see there's a 2 MOA dot and then a 32 MOA circle, and that one also has a dot in there. You can also set this optic up so that your reticle doesn't have the dot in there. It just has that 32 MOA circle. And I wanted to talk to you guys about what MOA means as far as this optic. So if you decide to purchase this, you can start understanding your optic way more. Let's jump right into it. All right, so here's my MR920. This is Shadow Systems version of a Glock, basically. You can see this is it has a Holosun mounted up top, and this is actually the optic that came from that box I took a screenshot of. So you're not going to be able to see the actual reticle in focus right here, but you're going to get a good idea as far as what the optic would look like mounted on top of the pistol. And sorry of how I'm actually holding the firearm. I'm standing behind the camera. Pretty difficult to do all of this. So 32 MOA and 2 MOA, and what does all of this stuff mean? So up on the wall, you'll see that I have a full-size human silhouette target. So I actually just have the target up there without any of the other distractions so you guys can get a better look at this. So this target, from the very top of its head to the very bottom of its belly right there, is going to be 32 inches. Now this is going to come important in a little bit. So remember, the full circle on that 507 is actually 32 MOA. So if you wanted to take a 100-yard shot and you were looking through the optic at this, your reticle would have a 32 MOA circle, which means at 100 yards, your reticle is going to be 32 inches big. So your entire reticle is going to cover up this full-size human right here. Now, you're not going to be shooting at 100 yards. So let's break it down a little bit more. And I'll zoom in so you can see the portions of this human that I'm actually going to discuss. Let's start with a headshot. All right, so here we go. If you can read my writing off to the left there, it says if you were taking a 10-yard shot, your reticle would appear to be 3.2 inches. So how do we come up with this math? I'm a little confused on all of it still, so let me break it down. Remember, at 100 yards, your reticle is going to appear to be 32 inches. So if you take 32, that's at 100 yards, and you divide it by 10, because we just want to see what a 10-yard shot would be, you would get 3.2. So at 10 yards, your reticle only appears to be 3.2 inches, which means if you were to draw your firearm up and you were to take a shot, you're going to hit someplace within that circle. Now, ideally, you're going to hit in the very middle of that circle, but let's be honest. If you end up hitting over to the left, the right, high, low, but you're inside the circle right there, you're going to have a great shot on your target, and you're going to be able to acquire your target quickly because your reticle is much bigger with that 32 circle than you are with a 2 MOA dot in the very middle of it. So that's one of the bonuses of actually running the Holosun over like a Trigicon or some other brands that are out there. So let's change our course a little bit, and let's just look at the chest cavity so we can see what a 20-yard circle or reticle would actually look like. All right, so now that that's adjusted, here you go. This is a center mass shot at 20 yards. your reticle is no longer 3.2 inches, but you're looking at a 6.4 inch reticle. So when you go to draw this up at 20 yards, your reticle is going to appear to be twice the size it was at a 10-yard distance. And it's going to continuously do that as your distance increases. The reticle will appear bigger. But as you get in to closer distances, the reticle will appear to be smaller. So looking through the actual firearm, if your target is right in front of your gun, sure, it's not going to cover up a huge amount of your target. But if you're going to take a 20-yard shot, and that's probably the max you're ever really going to be firing your pistol anyway, you've got basically a 6.5-inch circle. So you could draw your firearm up and you could get a shot on target quickly because you're able to acquire those sights as fast as possible. And that's what I really love about this Holosun optic in particular. All right, so I'm going to break it down. Zombie apocalypse. You guys see what's happening out there. So here's a realistic situation. You're at the grocery store, you're trying to get toilet paper, it's not on the shelves, and you encounter this. And as an everyday carry person, you decide, I'm going to help this woman. So you draw out your firearm and you're searching around for your iron sights, and then you finally shoot and you end up hitting the wrong person. You hit the female instead of the zombie, right? So let's switch it over though, and now you're actually going to be running that Holosun 507C X2 series. You draw out your firearm, and quickly, because you're less than 10 yards, you're going to have about a 3-inch optic or reticle that you can find, put it on the zombie, get a quick shot on there, and save the woman's life. That is the bonus here. It doesn't matter if it's 100% precise, and if you were going for that freckle on him or that missing patch of skin on him, you would hit that. What we're trying to do is find your optic or that reticle as fast as possible, get a shot on your target as fast as possible, and neutralize your threat. Utilizing that Holosun, which you can change the reticle so you could have that bigger circle, or you could go with that small, precise 2 MOA dot if you wanted to, you're going to be able to acquire your sights fast and get a shot on your target quickly. All right, standing side by side with the target right here. As far as the actual numbers go, remember 32 MOA is that larger circle. So if I was 100 yards away, that circle is going to be from the bottom of the black right here to the top of the black right here. So that's going to be a 32-inch circle on my person. So if you wanted to also use it almost like a rangefinder, if you know that what you're looking at is 6 feet in height, you could, figure out the distance they are by how big your circle would be covering them. Or if you were to use just the dot, that center dot right there, you could put that like on a human eye at 100 yards, and if it covered the entire eye, that's 2 inches, so you would know that they're 100 yards away. Now, again, with a pistol, I think that's going to be very difficult to do, but if I were to slide over right here, I can cover that because we are the same size targets right here. If we're looking at that outside black portion of our target in comparison to what my body size would be. So that's why I run targets like this. This is why I drew that representation of what the Holosun would look like at a 10-yard distance or at a 20-yard distance. And anything in between there, you could just do the math to figure out how big that reticle is going to appear or how small it's actually going to be because of the different distance. Running just that dot might be hard to find, but running the dot with that outer circle, you're going to be able to acquire your target quickly, get shots on target, make those shots effective, and win. Ultimately, if you're in a gunfight, I wish you the best, and I hope that you do win that, and that's why running a Holosun is going to give you that advantage. Hey guys, thanks for jumping in, and as always, if you're not a member, make sure you do click subscribe, turn that alert notification on, leave us a comment. If you think I suck, leave the comment down below anyway. Any of that does help us beat those algorithms out there, so put your feedback down in the comment section for us. Thanks again for watching. Take care, guys. Stay safe.